There it is, 2022 is at an end. As it is tradition on this channel, for the last video of the year we have a look at the top 10 coins that have made their way into my collection. There's a bit of everything in this list. Roman imperial, of course, some Greek, some Byzantine, and even some coins from different time periods and civilizations that I typically don't explore much on the channel. But hopefully on 2023 I'll delve into, as there are so many gorgeous coins out there. I want to make the comment section of this video a mural, where all of you type down the best coins that entered your collection this year. It doesn't matter if it's an ancient coin. Let me see what you people have got. So without any delay, let's get into the coins. For number 10, we're going to the Iberian Peninsula. The original inhabitants of the peninsula, the Celtiberians, developed a unique coinage that was the result of the influence of Rome, Carthage, and even the Greeks, all heavily monetized societies that traded with them. But instead of simply copying their designs, they added their own visual touches to the coins they would eventually issue, like in this fascinating denarius, dated around 150 to 100 BC, from the city of Boluscan. On the obverse, we have a very common motif on the coinage of the Celtiberians, a bearded male bust, which we don't know exactly who was supposed to be. Maybe some local deity or leader served as the original model. Maybe it was their interpretation of the many faces they would see in Roman or Greek coinage. In any case, lovely piece with this very unique design that is made in metal of very good quality. The reverse, though, is what makes this coin so cool for me. Here we have the jinete, Spanish for horseman. This design will also be very popular on Iberian coinage in general. The Celtiberians made extensive use of light cavalry in their troops, so it makes sense that their own coins would depict one of their warriors. I love the exaggerated, chunky proportions of the horse, and the design in general is very pleasing and well balanced. Another interesting bit about this reverse, on the lower part of the design, we have an inscription in the original Iberian alphabet. The name of the city, Boluscan, is written here. All in all, a fascinating coin I'll definitely be exploring further in some future video. Okay, number 9. We have this hefty silver piece here. This is a Roman provincial tetradrachma, struck under Antoninus Pius at the city of Mopsos, on modern-day Turkey. Roman tetradrachma are nothing out of the ordinary, really. When the Romans came and conquered the Greek world, they found that the main coin type used in big commerce and important payments, such as wages for troops, were paid in this format, these big silver coins. Instead of forcibly instituting the denarius, which had the potential of disrupting the equilibrium of local trade, they just kept striking this denomination, but using a new visual formula, more aligned with the Roman iconography. Some emperors struck lots of tetradrachma, while others did not. Antoninus Pius is an emperor I like a lot, but sadly provincial tetradrachma from his reign are rather scarce, I would say even rare. This probably had to do with how peaceful his reign was, so there was no need to strike lots of new coins to pay for military operations, and those already struck in previous reigns were enough to allow local commerce to function. This coin is also from a rare mint. The most common mint for the Roman East was Antioch, but it seems like the city did not strike any silver under Antoninus. Mopsos did, however. We don't know the reason why these coins were struck, but here they are, a lovely, substantial silver piece. And even if it's not in pristine condition, it still fits my collection nicely, and it's a coin I really like. On the reverse, we have an eagle perched over an animal's leg, a common motif for this denomination, a symbol of imperial power, of imperial authority. This piece feels spectacular in hand. It looks ancient, it feels ancient. So for all of these reasons, it makes it to the year's list at number 9. Alright, number 8, and we're headed to the late Roman period with this lovely siliqua of Constantius II. I like this coin so much I even made a video entirely dedicated to it. The siliqua was the last denomination in good silver struck by the Romans. At a time the economy was dominated by tiny little bronze coins with a testimonial amount in silver added to them, and the very valuable gold solidus. Meaning this denomination, struck in small numbers mind you, was the only intermediate piece between coins of either very low or very high face value. So this particular coin was struck between 355 and 361 AD. Apart from the fact it's a silver coin from so late in the empire's history, the fact this is a big, heavy siliqua, weighing over 3 grams, makes it quite desirable in my eyes. The siliqua will start being reduced in weight from the very last few years of Constantius' reign, going all the way down to a little over a gram at the very, very end of the Western Empire's time. On the reverse we have the laurel wreath, a typical design from the late Empire, which was usually accompanied by votive legends, propagandizing the time the emperor was in charge and his renewed vows to serve the Roman people. In the case for this piece, Constantius celebrates 30 years of service, promising to serve 10 more. And we keep going to number 7. What do we have here? This is Augustus, the first emperor. Despite his super long reign and the myriad of coins he struck, getting a denarius of him in good condition is getting harder and harder. He's a popular emperor, one of the most popular ones in fact, so it's normal that his coins are rather pricey. Fortunately, this was affordable enough that I could get it, and it's from the mint of Lugdunum, a secondary imperial mint which struck some really impressive coins. I like the style of Lugdunum, so this denarius was just what I needed. The obverse has the youthful, bare-headed face of Augustus and the inscriptions. Augustus Devi Filius claims he is the adopted son of the deified Julius Caesar, so a coin with massive historical value. On the reverse we have Apollo, one of the deities Augustus worshipped most. This reverse celebrates Augustus' victory over Mark Antony and Cleopatra. As we can see on the lower part of the design, the abbreviation ACT for the Battle of Actium. He raised a temple dedicated to Apollo on the site of the battle, and we can see the god here holding his lyre, as he was also the god of music. This particular type is attributed to the years 15 to 13 BC. Next, a little break from Roman coins for number 6. And look at the quality of this portrait. This is a Parthian drachma, struck under Mithridates II, dated between 121 and 91 BC. I need to make an episode on the Parthians and their successors, the Sasanians, and their coinage. It's an underappreciated niche of ancient numismatics that people should pay more attention to, as they produce some lovely, very unique coins. The territory under control of the Parthians for the majority of their history belonged to the Seleucid Empire previously, and it seems like the Parthian authorities kept the same die engravers that were employed by the Seleucids, making them strike coins in their desired image. The portrait in this coin is of clear Hellenistic style and was likely made by a Greek engraver or at least using Greek techniques. A lovely coin that really sparked my interest into this whole civilization. On the reverse we have an archer seated inspecting his bow. That's another lovely example of a mixing between Greek and Parthian iconography. First, the legends of the reverse are written in Greek, so definitely the lingua franca of the region, and on the center, this archer draws inspiration on previous Seleucid coins that featured the god Apollo, seated on the omphalos, the navel of the world, inspecting his arrow. But in this case, the seated figure wears typical Parthian clothes instead, while the previous design of Apollo shows him nearly naked in typical Greek fashion. The fact the Parthians were excellent horse archers probably made them identify with these older Apollo designs, and they decided to adapt it to their coinage. Lovely bit of numismatic history we have here. Number 5. Here we have the case of an exceptional version of a common coin. This is an Antoninianus of Valerian, father of the Emperor Gallienus. The coinage of Valerian is among some of the last coins of the 3rd century made with somewhat decent silver before the great debasement on the worst years of the Christ of the 3rd century that reduced Roman coinage to sorry scraps of copper. But in the case of this piece, wow, what a portrait. Lovely style, as good as coins from earlier centuries, in a quality that by this time you could only really find on gold coins. Definitely a keeper. The reverse, however, suffers from a typical problem of 3rd century coins. You see, the reverse dice were the moving ones. The obverses were fixed to an anvil during striking. That means that the reverse dice tended to suffer from wear a lot more. And during this time they were used for way too long, meaning you find fuzzy looking designs like this one, resulting on a very worn die. The type here features fides militum, another common type, but who are we kidding here? This coin's appeal lies on the obverse. For number 4, we have this denarius of Empress Faustina the Elder. Now, denarii of Faustina are incredibly common. She died right after her husband, the Emperor Antoninus Pius, became emperor, and the emperor struck posthumous coins on her name for his entire 23-year-long reign. So a lot of coins were made, and many reached our days. Her coins are common, yes, but they also come in all sorts of different styles, from horrible, ugly ones to gorgeous pieces made in fine detail, like this one. Since Antoninus is one of my favorite emperors, I thought I could be a bit more pedantic and wait until a truly pretty coin of Faustina came around. And there it is. Very fine detail on the bust, minimal wear. We can see the small intricacies put on her hair, which became fashionable with the women of the Roman elite. Faustina might not have been the best looking of women, but this denarius is definitely up there in regards to style of engraving, and it has a proud place in my collection. As for the reverse, most of Faustina's coins show images related to piety, feminine values, or the main feminine deities of Rome. In this case, we have Pietas, the goddess of piety. This reverse wants to show that Faustina observed the religious obligations she had with the Roman gods. As we can see her veiled, almost as if morphed with the goddess Pietas herself, sacrificing to the gods on a little fiery altar. Such a spectacular, albeit common coin. Number 3. And now we have a medieval coin. What we have here is a French coin. This is a Gros Tournois from Philip IV, dated between 1280 and 1285 AD. The Gros denomination was enormously popular on the late Middle Ages, being issued by many different kingdoms with different designs, but the original French piece always called my attention, with its well-formed Gothic letters and two lines, the beautiful cross in the center, and its big diameter. I need to show more medieval coins on this channel. On the reverse, looking at the center, we have an icon representing a castle, and around the border, 12 little fleurs de lis, meant to symbolize the value of this coin. 12 deniers, a smaller denomination. During the earlier Middle Ages in general, the only denomination in circulation were these small deniers, silver pennies in terms. But as commerce flourished and the European population in general increased, with the overall economy boost came more complex, bigger denominations such as this one, as they started becoming necessary. An economy entirely based on small silver pennies was simply not practical. Alright, number 2. This coin isn't really nothing out of the ordinary, nor is it rare. It's a denarius of Antoninus Pius, but this particular coin was a gift from a subscriber. A fine gentleman approached me who knew I liked this emperor and so kindly gifted me this coin. It's a nice reminder that although numismatics can be a very introspective hobby at times, the community and other collectors sharing their passion is what truly gives flavor to this hobby. He sent me the coin in this nice little plastic capsule, which is a nice alternative for those who think slabs are just too bulky, but still want some sort of protection to their coins, or just don't want to touch them with their bare hands. The reverse features Annona, an incarnation of the grain dole given to the poor citizens of Rome. She's seen handling some wheat stalks, and there's a ship with some barrels by her feet, as the grain arrived to Rome by boat, mostly coming all the way from Egypt. It went to the port of Ostia, close to Rome, where it was put on smaller boats and brought to the city via the Tiber River. Sadly, in this case, the coin was struck somewhat off-center, so poor little Annona was decapitated. Still, lovely gift and well worthy of number 2. And finally, number 1. It had to be this gold solidus of Emperor Justin II, my first full-size gold piece. Gold has a heft, a density to it that really commands respect, being the main denomination of the surviving eastern half of the Roman Empire at a time when Europe was in a chaotic state, as the barbarian kingdoms squabbled over the ashes of the once great Western Empire. It gives this coin a touch of historical significance for being a witness of such turbulent times. And on the reverse, we have Constantinopolis, the incarnation of the imperial capital of Constantinople. At this time, for anyone to set foot upon the great capital must have been a hell of an experience. As the world was turning more agrarian, as economies were collapsing and becoming subsistence-based, the city must have looked magical, a beacon of civilization with its flurry of economic activity. And in this city, that many considered the center of the world, to think that this gold coin once circulated transports me right back to the Dark Ages. A truly wonderful coin and a well-deserved top 1. Let's all hope 2023 brings us lots of coins for all of us, and I sincerely hope all your numismatic dreams come true. So what about you? Tell us which was your favorite coin of 2022. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a like and consider subscribing if you did, as it really helps the channel. Happy collecting, happy holidays, and I'll see you soon.